talking to survivors of the abuse and the traumas that happen within these polygamous societies, I thought it was good that we could actually talk to a professional and expert in the area that helps these victims actually turn into survivors. So we're on our way to talk to Dr. Lawrence Beal. He's a clinical psychologist who sees and helps people who are leaving these polygamous relationships and organizations.
Hey, come on in.
Dr. Bill, how are you?
Good.
I'm Matt Browning.
Matt.
Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. Please sit down. Make yourself comfortable.
Thank you. So this is your place?
Well, just a little part of it over here.
Nice. How long you been doing this?
Trauma work?
Trauma work?
35 years.
Wow. And how did you get involved with the religious side of things?
20 years ago. Started working with Division of Workforce Services.
Mm-hmm.
And they were referring women and adolescents to me who came from Southern Utah.
All right.
And they were from the FLDS community.
Right.
Somehow the word got out that this guy works with us. And I started seeing more, and it just grew over the years.
So you're born into this world from the time and I'm not going to specifically talk about the FLDS, but pretty much any of these extreme religious organizations, polygamous sects, whatever you want to call them, you're born into it. And from a very young age, you're taught that this is the way it is.
Right.
You're going to marry your uncle. You're going to have 15 kids by the time you're 19. You're going to continue to have kids up until you can't have kids anymore, because the purpose that you're here is to bring kids into the world and to build up our religion.
Right.
And in doing that, you're going to go to heaven because you do that. You're dealing with people who for 20 plus years have been taught this. How long does it take you to help these women, men, whoever, understand that you can step out of it? And then once you do step out of it, how do you stop them from going back into it?
It's a complicated question because, well, we talk about what's going on in here, and we also talk about, well, what's going on out here? Well, out here, I mean all the obstacles. Getting a good attorney, finding a support group, finding individuals you can trust is very, very steep. That's difficult.
So how do you, when you're dealing with people who've been traumatized their whole life, whether they've been molested by, their father, brothers, uncles, whoever, then they're forced to marry the people who traumatized them to start with. You have members of these organizations, of these religious polygamous groups who are told, I'm only doing this because I love you. I'm beating Satan out of you. I am doing this because it's God's will that this happens. How do you get that trauma out of them to where they can have the mindset of, I'm actually a survivor of A, B, C, and D?
The very first phase of treatment is safety. They have to be safe.
Okay.
For this change to happen. Hence, they've got to get out of there. Because in there's everybody and their brother who are going to try to keep you from escaping.
Right.
If they can see someone who helps them create external safety and a sense of emotional safety, they can start laying down a little bit. That defensiveness and guardedness that they had to have to survive emotionally in the FLDS community, let's say, can be softened enough so they can start feeling a little bit. Okay. One of the characteristics of every single person I've worked with, they were numb. And that's because of what they had to be to survive. So you have to make it safe enough for them to start accessing that stuff. And that's an important part of effective therapy with these women is you have a wonderful mind. We have to help you learn to trust it. and unpack what has kept you from being able to trust it up till now. Because these people have been brainwashed. You don't talk with people outside our community. You don't trust what you think. You don't trust what you feel. You must follow what you're told. And what we're helping them do is transcend that.
I don't want to speak in absolutes, but it's kind of ridiculous to treat a person who's just going to leave your office and go back to the situation that's causing it to start with.
It won't work. See, the brain will not allow pain to be released if it knows more pain's coming.
That's very interesting.
It won't. That's why safety must be in place. That's a big part of it.
Wow. I gotta think about that one for a minute, because I've never heard it like that. If you know pain's coming, then you're not gonna release anything. And so what do we do?
We make sure we get as many of them as we can into safety. And we crack it, I think, by trying to expose it for what it is. Like, that's what I think part of what we're trying to do here is there are so many labels that are very safe and benign that are used for something that is really quite dark and hurtful of children.
And it should be stopped.
Yes, it should be. Thank you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Good to meet you, Matt.
You're all right.